Hello, hi. Thanks for stopping by. We get asked a few questions about the bonsai, and I know a lot of you will know the answer to these questions, but some of you may be just starting out. So here we go. We'll look through a few of them. One of the questions that gets asked is, where can I get bonsai seeds? Well, strictly speaking, there's no such thing as bonsai seeds. You get seeds which are just normal seeds, and you grow them in a bonsai style. Now, some of these seeds come in so-called bonsai packs, which you may get as a present or whatever, and there'll be maybe a small pair of scissors in there, or maybe a tray, and there'll be some loose seeds, but you have to get these seeds germinated, and you maybe have some success or not, but they are not bonsai seeds, they are seeds. And the other way you can get seeds, the same seeds, is to buy what is called chitted seeds, or sprouted seeds. If you plant these seeds after a year, they should look about this size here. They're about this is a Scotch pine, and I have some wire on it because I just want to start it off with a little carve, and that gives you a year's start. So you can buy them like this, or you can maybe buy from a garden centre like this, which is established. It'll be about 2 years, maybe 3 years old, and that gives you a good start with material to work on, because this one here will take a while to get, perhaps with a thick trunk and material you can work on, so you have to be patient with that. Oh, the other thing you can do, and you must have permission for that, is for collecting a tree, of any size. This here was collected, and it was collected from a sand quarry that was being eaten away by the bulldozers for sand and stuff, and this one was just hanging on to the edge. So this is quite okay to collect these if it's going to be trampled down anyway, and it's free, but you have to have permission if you're looking at somebody's land. You can't just go digging up a tree. Okay, that perhaps covers that. Okay, the other thing we should mention as well, that when you get a seedling going, putting it in a bonsai pot doesn't mean it will grow as a bonsai. It will grow as a tree. You have to train it, you have to wire it, you have to prune it, and all that stuff. So you don't get bonsai seeds, and if you get seeds which grow like this, by putting them in a bonsai pot, if you can imagine, doesn't make them grow as bonsais. That's a plastic pot. You get other types of pots as well. Right, so now you have your tree, which may be like this, and the next thing you might think, oh well, I need bonsai tools because it's a bonsai I'm growing. So, and there are tools. There's tools like this, specialized tools like this. But if you're starting out and you just want to see how you get on, you don't need special cutting tools. You could use a secateurs, for instance. Just do all this with a pair of normal cutters of some kind that work perfectly well, and you could move on to these type of tools. Special. I don't have my cutter with me. Where is it? Okay. So you can you don't, as I say, you don't need these specialized tools. What you can do is when it's your birthday or when Santa Claus is due, you could actually make a hint and say, well, what would you like for Christmas? Somebody will ask you, and you say, what, do you want socks or pajamas? No, I want a bonsai special tool. And these come in various prices. They are reasonable, and some are very expensive if you go for the Japanese ones. And all these do is give you fine, neat cuts in a shape like that. It'll fold over and heal better. But these work just as well for this type of cutting. So ask them for your birthday or for your Christmas, and that'll get things going. The other thing that the other thing we get asked about is wire. Oh, I need special wire. Well, you can buy wire in various grades of thickness in copper and aluminium, and yes, it is used to twist and bend things in a shape that you might want to follow. You can wire off, and you can use different grades for different thicknesses for doing nice neat wires, and that is available from loads of places online, from specialist bonsai people as well, along with the tools that you're going to get for Christmas. Okay, so you have your tree growing away, and you might want to put it into a bonsai pot, but you shouldn't be in too much of a hurry to do that until your tree is perhaps really well developed. As I said earlier, I think you do get plastic pots, and you get not plastic pots. There is a pot called a mica pot, which is a hard version of a pot, but it reaches a price range which is less, generally speaking, than these and more than these. So don't worry too much about getting a pot. Wait until you have a developed tree, and then you can think about a pot. Now, to get a pot, you can go to your bonsai club, and there'll be somebody there, maybe you have selling pots, or somebody wants to exchange pots. But the best way to get it done, if you're looking for a variation of it, is to go to a bonsai show. A bonsai show will have all the traders in there and loads of pots to see, and believe me, now they are of a superb quality. And take your tree along, just take it along and say, well, look, go to a where you see some pots. Oh, I've taken my tree. There's no embarrassment about that. I want to see how my tree looks next to a pot. These traders are really nice people. They will help you out in every which way, and you can then offer some different pots and say, well, that's maybe. You'll have such a choice that you won't rush into buying something that you might regret later. You'll have a nice pot for your tree. Another question that gets asked a lot is soil. Which soil shall I use? And there are loads of people giving advice on different soil mixes, and I'll tell you what I do myself. I tend to use very gritty soil. I put this type of grit through all my soil, and in truth, a lot of trees, plants, shrubs, weeds will grow in a lot of fairly standard mix of mixture of soil, really, but so don't get too hung up about it. There's loads of tutorials online about that, and there's lots of advice to be given. There are some species that prefer a different type of soil. For instance, azaleas maybe like ericaceous soil, so you have to watch that when you're doing it. There is soil like akadama you will see, which is imported. It can be more expensive than your average bag of peat mixed up with or John Innes mix or whatever. And you will see that akadama is used in quite a lot of finished trees. I might put it in akadama. But the thing, whatever you use, and is your personal choice, after you've looked at all the advice, make sure you have plenty of free draining in it, because your tree can get quite waterlogged if you don't know how your soil performs. It can get very wet and kill a tree, as well as getting very dry and killing your tree. So you have to figure that one out as well. As for watering the tree, I was once at a show helping out, and a couple came along and they said, oh, we have a tree and we were told to water it every day at 12 o'clock. And I went, okay. You don't have to water a tree unless it needs water. And it hasn't to be at any specific time. Obviously in the summer months it's going to need more water, or the hot weather is going to demand more water. And again, it depends the soil you have. You just have to get it. But one of the ways that we like to water things is like, I will show you. Yes, one thing you can do when watering trees is you can water them as normal with a hose or with a can or whatever, but probably the best way to do it every now and again is to take your tree, just submerge it, and that way, once the bubbles stop, you'll know your tree has been watered properly. Every root's probably gets some water. You don't have to do it all the time, but it's a good practice, because you know it's done. You can then, after a while, leave it in for a while, drain it off, and put it back where you have it. Let me take my tree indoors, and you can only really keep trees, bonsai trees, that are from subtropical or tropical climates. This is a ficus, which is you can keep indoors. Jade is another one, and there's the other species as well, which you can check up on. But there's not really such a thing as indoor trees. All trees are outdoors. It's just that we don't have a very, very hot climate for these guys, so they're happier indoors. They have Chinese elms amongst us, a very popular one, but people think they can keep indoors, and they're often marked as being an indoor tree. But strictly speaking, they need to be, you can take them in for maybe a day or 2 days at a time, as with any tree really, but they need to be outdoors and have the temperate climate that we have here. I think that about covers most of the questions that we've been trying to address, and the only thing left is thank you for watching. Please like us and subscribe to us, and we'll get some more videos for you, and see you next time around. Meantime, stay cheeky. Bye bye.